Welcome to my channel.
Life is relationships.
You ever feel like the old rulebook for love just doesn't apply anymore? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. It seems like finding a real, lasting relationship today is more complicated than ever. But what if the way we're all looking for love is the very reason it's so hard to find? Let's get into it.
You know, from the time we're kids, we're sold this fairy tale idea of the one, this perfect soulmate who's out there somewhere just waiting to find us and make us whole. But what if that whole idea is just wrong? What if searching for the one is the very thing holding you back from real love?
Well, it turns out that some of the world's leading psychotherapists, relationship coaches, and even neuroscientists all agree on something huge. The journey to love doesn't start by looking out there. It starts by looking in here. It's not about finding someone. It's about becoming someone. So let's dive into their playbook.
All right, first things first. The most critical part of this whole journey is all about you, plain and simple. Before you can ever hope to build a healthy, amazing connection with a partner, you've got to build one with yourself. This is the foundation. Everything else gets built on top of this.
Psychotherapist Lori Gottlieb just nails it with this quote: "We marry our unfinished business." What she means is, we're often unconsciously drawn to people who feel familiar, even if that familiarity is tied to something painful from our past. If we don't do the work to understand our own stuff, we're pretty much doomed to repeat the same old patterns over and over again. And to really get this, Gottlieb makes this brilliant distinction. On one hand, you have idiot compassion. That's when your friends just tell you what you want to hear. Oh, you're right, they're the crazy one. It feels good for a minute, but it keeps you stuck. But then there's wise compassion. That's when someone truly cares enough to hold up a mirror and help you see your own role in the dance. And that is where the real growth happens. Okay, so you've started doing the inner work. Now you meet someone and bam, there's that spark. But wait, is that just chemistry or is it a real, genuine connection? This is such a crucial difference to understand, and relationship coach Stefan Speaks has some amazing insights on this. And when you put them side by side, the difference is, wow, it's huge. Chemistry is all about the surface level stuff, that exciting, tingly feeling. It's driven by fantasy. But connection? That's about depth. That's about real alignment on the things that matter. And here's the big tell. When it's just chemistry, we're secretly afraid to ask the hard questions because we don't want to break the spell. So here's a little litmus test for you, straight from Stefan's playbook. Ask yourself honestly, are you showing up as your true, authentic self? Or are you sending your representative? You know, that polished, perfect, trying to impress version of you? A real connection is where you can just be yourself. It's built on seeing if your paths are actually going in the same direction, not just if you have fun on a Saturday night. Okay, this next idea, it's a total game changer. It comes from Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's a neuroscientist. He argues that we need to stop this frantic chase for a partner and instead focus on aligning our own energy to literally draw what we want into our lives. So how does this actually work? Well, instead of making a list of what your perfect partner looks like, you define the feeling you want that relationship to have: joy, security, passion, partnership. Then you start working on becoming the kind of person who would attract that. And here's the kicker. You have to feel worthy of that love right now, not when you meet someone. When you truly embody that energy, you basically become a magnet for someone on that same level. And this quote from him just nails it. You would only be looking for it when you felt separate from it. Think about that. When you feel whole and happy and complete all on your own, you stop looking. You're not coming from a place of lack or a place of, I need you to complete me. You attract a partner not because you need them, but because you're already full. All right, so you've done the inner work, you've found a real connection, you've aligned your energy. What's next? According to relationship expert Matthew Hussey, this is where the real fun begins. Love isn't some treasure you just find. It's a house you have to build together brick by brick. And Matthew Hussey has this absolutely brilliant way of reframing a word we all dread: settle. We think of settling for someone, which is totally passive and based on fear, like accepting less than you deserve because you're scared of being alone. But he talks about settling on someone. That's an active, powerful choice. It's saying, out of everyone, I see how incredible you are, and I am actively choosing to build my life with you. See the difference? To really drive home how important choice is, he talks about this wild experiment with two rats. So you have one rat. Let's call him Rat A.
He has a wheel in his cage, and he can choose to run on it whenever he feels like it. And he gets all the great health benefits of that exercise. Simple enough, right?
But here's the twist. His wheel is hooked up to another wheel in a different cage where Rat B lives. So whenever Rat A chooses to run, Rat B is forced to run at the exact same time for the exact same duration. Same exact workout, right? But the outcomes? Night and day. While Rat A was thriving, Rat B showed all the biological markers of chronic, damaging stress. So what's the big takeaway here? It's so simple, but so profound. Choice is everything. It doesn't matter how great a partner you are. If the person you're with doesn't freely and enthusiastically choose to be with you every single day, it's just not going to work. That active choice is the secret sauce. And that brings us to our last, and maybe one of the toughest lessons in love. This one's brought to life beautifully by an analogy from James Corden. It's all about growth, change, and the incredible power of letting go. I want you to picture this. When you start a new relationship, it's like someone hands you a beautiful, shiny balloon. It's magical, it's full of life, and holding it makes you feel like you're floating. But what happens if you're terrified of losing it? You grip the string with all your might. Maybe you even tie it to your wrist so it can't get away. But over time, the air slowly starts to seep out. It starts to droop. And what was once this magical floating thing is now just this sad, deflated burden you're dragging around behind you. But what if you have the courage to just open your hand, to let it go? You get to watch it soar and be beautiful. You get to witness its magic. Letting go isn't a failure. It's an act of courage that honors what you had, and it creates the space for something new and wonderful to come into your life. Now, this is going to sound kind of backwards, but stick with me. James Corden says that heartbreak isn't the end of the world. It's actually a teacher, a really profound one. He believes it's only after your heart has been broken that you can truly understand the depths of love, and you can go into your next relationship with so much more wisdom and compassion. So let's put it all together. Here's your Modern Love Playbook, the key takeaways from all these experts. It all starts with you, with self-awareness. It's about prioritizing real connection over a fleeting chemical rush. It's about aligning your energy instead of chasing after someone. It's about being an active builder, not a passive finder. And finally, it's about having the strength to let go, because that's the only way to truly grow. Look, at the end of the day, building a great relationship is a journey, not a destination. The work is never really done. So the real question isn't about whether you'll finally find the one. It's
Thank
about
you for
what you're
watching
willing
the
to
video.
do to
Please
become the
subscribe to
person
my
who is
channel.
ready for a great love. So what's your next step?